I could not free my arms or the ski pole, and I needed that ski pole to kind of punch up towards my binding and release myself. And I was stuck like that for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it was a real panicky, kind of terror-filled 4 or 5 minutes. I decided to do Algonquin and Iroquois one day on my own. Middle of the week, nobody was out. I had skied Algonquin a few times, so I was familiar with that, but it was my first time over to Iroquois. And winds pretty cold. Winds were really ripping up there. And in that saddle in between the two peaks, I could not find or follow the path that kind of goes through all of the sort of pine trees up there. And they were pretty snowed in. And halfway through that little pine forest there, I fell into a tree well upside down on my skis. And I was sort of almost completely vertical with my skis still attached, and they were sort of hanging me on the opening of the snow above me. And I was clipped in, and I could breathe, but I had fallen on top of my ski pole. I had lost one ski pole as I fell. And I was sort of mummified with my arms crossed across my body and the ski pole under my arms. And I could not free my arms or the ski pole, and I needed that ski pole to kind of punch up towards my binding and release myself. And I was stuck like that for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it was a real panicky, kind of terror-filled 4 or 5 minutes. I could breathe, and that's a big danger with tree wells, especially if you're out west. A lot of people suffocate from those. So I could breathe. I knew I wasn't going to die of suffocation, but just that feeling of not really being able to move your body was pretty terrifying. I eventually did free the ski pole, knocked my binding loose, and then used that free foot to kick the other one off. And when I climbed out, I thought to myself, this is probably the last time I'm going to ski these peaks alone, because it was an eye-opening moment for me about what could go wrong. And